Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Casey, and when I last left you guys, I was working on the fridge cabinet. So I built a cabinet to go around our fridge. I also built doors to go on our sink cabinet because that has had no doors for months since we put in the sink cabinet. So the kitchen is definitely getting to a more finished place. And this week I want to work on repainting all of the kitchen cabinets. When I first built this kitchen, I decided I wanted to paint it this kind of avocado green, but it ended up being a little too saturated of a green for me, and I wasn't super thrilled with it. There is something that I want to change about the kitchen. I kind of knew it immediately after the countertops were installed. I want to change the color of the cabinets. I'm actually not very happy with the color. I'm going to start by removing the cabinet doors, the new cabinet doors that I made. I had already gone ahead and installed the cabinet doors just to make sure I didn't need to make any adjustments before painting them. So now I can remove them and take off the hardware and paint them. I started by priming all of these doors first because I want to make sure that the paint sticks really well, and also it's going to allow me not to use as many coats of the actual colored paint that I'm going to use. So I want to make sure I prime these really well. While that's drying, I went through and caulked all of the seams where I built this fridge cabinet, where it meets up with the wall and where it meets the other cabinets. This is just going to give it a more seamless look. It's going to kind of hide all those cracks once everything's painted, and it's just going to look a lot nicer. I also primed the fridge cabinet for the same reasons, just to give my paint a really nice base to adhere to. After the primer dries and between each coat of paint, I'm giving this a really light sand just to kind of knock down any of the rough parts from the roller or the paintbrush and make sure I have a nice smooth surface to paint on top of. And I'll be sure to come in with a tack cloth and get all the excess dust off of these.
Right in my eye. Close your eyes when you do that.
I'll also be repainting all of the existing cabinet doors and drawer fronts. I'm not going to prime these, but I am going to scuff these a little bit, sand it, and then I'll also wipe it down with a tack cloth. I'm using the color blue steel. It's either blue steel or blue metal. I'll put it up here on the screen. But this is a Bear paint color, and I am so happy with this color already. I love this color. It's a very dark blue, almost like slate gray color, and it just looks so much better with the flooring, and I think it's just going to be such a nicer paint in here. I'll be painting the base cabinets this dark blue color, and then I'm going to be doing a lighter color on the upper cabinets and the fridge cabinet. So for those cabinets, I'm going to be using the color Saturn Gray, which is also a Bear paint color. When I first painted these cabinets, I painted them with a semi-gloss, and I felt like it was just too glossy. So for the new paint job, I used a satin. It's got a little bit of a sheen, but it doesn't read so shiny, and it'll still be easy to clean. Now, you may remember that I was a little bit undecided on how I was going to fill these exposed pocket holes in the sides of the cabinet. I ended up just filling them with wood filler and then sanding them down, and that actually worked out great. And I put this off for so long because I hate dealing with the dust. That is one thing I've learned throughout this entire process, is how much I hate dust. So I finally did it, and it wasn't that bad. So I continued painting all the doors, drawer fronts, and cabinets off camera just so I could kind of get in the zone and paint. And I'm so much happier with this paint color. The green was just, it was just too much. This is so much more calming and relaxing and inviting. All of the cabinets and doors and drawer fronts are now repainted, and I'm so much happier with this color choice, these two color choices. especially this dark blue that we did on the bottom cabinets. I didn't expect to love it as much as I do, but every time I walk into the kitchen, it just makes so much more sense in there, and it makes everything feel so much more grounded. The colors work so much better together, so I'm really glad that I went ahead and tackled repainting the cabinets, even though it ended up being kind of a big job to do that. Now, I still need to get some hardware for the cabinet above the fridge. I thought I had extra hardware, but I only had 2 extra knobs. So I'm gonna order those today, and hopefully I'll have those in a couple of days to put up on the cabinet over the fridge. And today I wanna work on installing the piece in front of the sink, that little apron piece. It's gonna be made basically the same as I did for the drawer fronts, and I'm gonna have that same reveal around the edges, but it's not gonna be operable. It's just gonna be a piece to cover that opening. I'm gonna have to install some blocking behind there just to have something to nail it into. And I think I am gonna have to use glue and nails instead of screws because I don't think I can get my screwdriver in there to attach the blocking. I think I have enough scrap over here to make the apron. I just gotta pick which piece I'm gonna use. And actually, I might use this piece of trim. I've got this 1x6 piece left over from our trim project, and I'll need to kind of cut it down to size, but this is definitely going to be long enough, and it'll have a nice smooth finish. So I think this will work really well, actually. Before I attach the apron to the front of the sink cabinet, I just want to paint my pieces of blocking so that they don't show through too much once I get this installed, because I will have a reveal around all of the edges of this little apron piece. I'll use shims to kind of help me center this piece in the opening before I nail it in. I also need to install the toe kick covers at the bottom of the cabinets. This is something that's been bothering me this entire time, and I need to get those installed. And that's basically just going to be cutting pieces of wood that are, I think, 3.5 inches tall, or is it 4 inches? Anyway, whatever the height of the toe kick is, that's how high I'm going to cut just some plywood, and I will paint that and install it with my nail gun, and then again go back and patch any of the holes left over from the nail gun. Okay, toe kicks are in. we have come a long way in this space, like a really long way. If we go back in time, this space was, it was a somewhat functional kitchen, but it was just really dark. It was very heavy in here. There was another door in here that we filled in. So this space is probably the most transformed space in this house so far, and I'm so proud of this project, how far it's come, and we're not done yet. There are a lot of things that I've already done in this space that I haven't shared yet, so that will be coming soon here on the channel. So I'm going to be building a little slide out cabinet in that little sliver of space next to the fridge for additional storage. I'm going to be installing a range hood and building a cover for that. I'm going to be adding trim to the top of the cabinets. I'm going to be installing under cabinet lighting. That's just a few things that I have already done, but there are still so many things I want to do. So we still have a long list of things to do in this space, but it's so much closer to the kitchen that I have been envisioning, and I'm so happy with it. I love this kitchen. It's been such a labor of love. I'm so proud of it. And I just want to thank you all so much for watching and for all of your kind and encouraging comments. And I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.